All right, everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about something really interesting and actually very important: the connection between what we eat and how we feel emotionally. More specifically, we'll look at how junk food, especially high glycemic index or GI foods, may be linked to depression and other mood issues. So, let's begin with some background. Researchers have noticed a trend: increased consumption of highly processed, high GI foods. Things like white bread, sugar cereals, soft drinks, and cakes is associated with a higher risk of depression. Now, this doesn't mean that eating one cookie will make you sad, but over time, if your diet is full of these types of foods, it can really affect your mental health. Now, let's take a step back and ask, what do we mean by GI or glycemic index? Well, the glycemic index measures how quickly a food raises your blood sugar. Foods that are low GI, like beans, yams, and whole oats, raise your blood sugar slowly. They're also usually high in fiber, which helps with digestion and keeps you feeling full. On the other hand, high GI foods like white rice, pastries, and sugary drinks cause a rapid spike in blood sugar. And here's the thing: when your blood sugar goes up quickly, your body reacts by releasing insulin, which brings the sugar level down. But sometimes it goes too low, and then your body releases stress hormones like cortisol. That can lead to symptoms like irritability, anxiety, difficulty concentrating, and even mood swings. So, how does this relate to our ancestors? Good question. In the past, people ate carbohydrates, mainly from whole fruits and vegetables. These were natural, full of vitamins, and gave people a strong preference for sweet taste, which helped them survive. But now, highly refined carbohydrates are available everywhere: processed snacks, instant meals, even sauces and drinks. That constant exposure to unhealthy carbs may actually increase our vulnerability to depression. Let's look at some research. A large study conducted in the US followed a group of postmenopausal women, thousands of participants. The research made sure to only include women who were not depressed at the beginning. Over time, they found that those who consumed more high GI foods were significantly more likely to develop depression. Another study I want to mention was done at Deakin University in Australia. It included men and women with moderate to severe depression. They used a dietary intervention where half of the participants changed to a healthy diet called the MODA-MED diet, and the other half continued with their usual eating habits. Over 12 weeks, the diet group saw an average improvement of 11 points on a mood scale, and about 1/3 were no longer clinically depressed by the end of the study. What did they eat? Simple, whole foods like fresh vegetables, legumes, nuts, olive oil, whole grains, fish, and a small amount of lean meat. They avoided things like fast food, sugary snacks, and soft drinks. And guess what? The diet actually cost less than what they were eating before. So what did the research recommend? First, cut down or completely give up refined carbs. Second, replace them with whole, unprocessed foods. Things like whole grains, fruits and vegetables. Also, use oils that are rich in omega fatty acids like olive oil or flaxseed oil because they may help improve mood. So, let's wrap up with a few takeaway points. Junk food may not just affect your weight, it may also influence your mood. Highly refined carbs lead to sugar highs and crashes, which can trigger stress and anxiety. A healthy diet with whole foods can actually reduce symptoms of depression. And finally, small changes in diet, like switching white bread to whole grain or soda to water, can make a big difference. All right, that's it for today's talk.